Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Automotive JT. I'm out cruising around in the Jeep Gladiator Mojave today. Love this trim level, by the way. Always did really like this trim level. And I was thinking, how is the Jeep Gladiator doing? Not mine specifically, I mean sales. You can pull up the sales numbers and stuff, and of course a lot of tubers do that. They'll pull up the sales numbers and try to convince you that it's doing well or it's not doing so well. But I have found that, sales numbers can be manipulated. I mean, are we talking about lease numbers? Are we talking about real world numbers? Are we talking about people who came in and just asked? You never know in these numbers. So I find it's always better to get a real world view of how the Jeep Gladiator is doing. And I gotta say, from my observations, and I'll tell you what my method is here in a minute, but from my observations, it's doing pretty darn good. If you didn't know, I live in deep South Texas. And of course, Texas is truck country, man. If you're looking to get into the truck culture or be around other truck people, move to Texas, particularly South Texas. There are trucks everywhere here. It's just simply amazing to me. Big ones, small ones, mid-sized ones, you name it, they're everywhere. But as I'm cruising around, my method is, how many Jeep Gladiators do I actually see on the road? How many real people are actually driving Jeep Gladiators? And I have to say, today I've been out running around. I went to the gas station, I did a little fuel injector addition, the cleaner stuff that I think was my previous video, to smooth out the vibration in my Gladiator. That, if you want to know more about that, check out that video. It was my last video. Oh, there goes what do we have here? We have a wrapped in gold. It just went by. I don't know if you guys caught a flash of it in the side of the truck there, but it was wrapped in shiny gold Corvette. I don't know if I like it or not. It certainly catches the eye, a little blinding in the sun. But anyway, as I was saying, my method is to drive around and take a look, because I can kind of gauge, how popular something the trucks are or are not, depending upon how many I see. For instance, the Toyota Tacoma. There are Toyota Tacomas everywhere here. There's one on the left right now. You might see it go by over here. They're everywhere. You see tons of them. The Toyota Tacoma is alive and well down here in South Texas. So as I'm driving around so far today, in about probably about 15-20 minutes of driving, something like that, I've seen 4. Now I'm talking about Jeep Gladiators. That's not including my Jeep Gladiator, so I'm not parked in front of one of those mirrored windows looking at myself, but I've seen 4 of them. Now, there was a time when I had my first Jeep Gladiator. It was a white Jeep Gladiator Sport. I believe it was a 2020, if I'm not mistaken, the first year they came out. I didn't see any. I'd be the only Jeep Gladiator on the road. When I'd pull up to a gas station or something to fuel up, people would ask me about it. What is it? I don't get that so much anymore. People don't ask because they're seeing them more often. So to go from 0 to 4 or more, depending, I've seen as many as, I think, 10 on a day out doing the same kind of a drive. That to me means they're becoming more popular. People are buying them because these are real people driving them, not some made up, overinflated, number on the internet. But why are people buying them? There's a few reasons, I think. Number one, it's unique. You don't see still tons of them on the road, and even if there were, it's a unique design, a unique look as compared to other trucks out there. Today I think a lot of trucks have kind of converged to one look, if you will. They're all starting to look a lot alike, and that's because everybody's chasing the Toyota Tacoma, right? They're all converging towards the Toyota Tacoma look. That new Nissan Frontier, there's a lot of Tacoma in that. But you don't see that with the Jeep Gladiator. It has its own unique look, of course, trying to stay with the Jeep heritage. When you see the Gladiator from the front, it looks like any other Jeep that's out there. It's not until you get a glimpse of the side and on back that you realize it has more going on in the rear end, right? That's one reason, the uniqueness of it. Secondly, of course, it's a Jeep. You know, if you're big time into off-roading, it's number one. Jeep can go anywhere. And the same thing holds true with the Gladiator. It still has that Jeep off-road lineage to it. So I think a lot of people get into it for that reason. It's still a truck. So now you get the capability of a Jeep and the versatility of having a bed on the back. It's comfortable. You know, I took my first Jeep Gladiator on a long distance trip. We drove, man, I don't know, it was 19 hours one way, whatever it was, 38-hour round trip. And it was fantastic. Through hills, through rough roads, through back roads, a couple of heavy thunderstorms, which, by the way, I got no leaks. That's another area that some people comment on. They complain about it leaking, particularly over here. I think that's due to probably not being fastened down correctly or putting on some kind of an aftermarket top like I have on mine. I have the Sunrider soft top. People have complained about leaks with that one as well. The final thing, I think, is because once you get in a Jeep Gladiator and drive it, you're going to be amazed at how powerful it is, how good it feels as compared to your standard truck. It just feels better. It's more comfortable on the inside. It's got more oomph to it when you take off. And I'm a big acceleration guy, you know. I like to go when I hit the pedal. I'm not a fan of lag. I don't want lag. And the Jeep Gladiator really doesn't have it. It takes off when you want it to take off and feels like it still has a lot more to go. One more I will mention, something I just thought of, the modability of it. You know, right up there with the Toyota Tacoma, there are hundreds, maybe thousands of things that you can do to customize the Jeep Gladiator to make it your own. It's one of the things that I really love about the Jeep Gladiator myself. If there's one ding about the Jeep Gladiator, it has to be fuel economy. You know, I get a lot of people that complain about that on the channel. It gets horrible fuel economy. When I look at mine, I'll scroll through right now. I just filled up. I've been driving around, probably 50-50 mix of slow driving and faster driving, and I'm getting 14 miles per gallon. 14 miles per gallon. It's horrible. I mean, it really is horrible. Now, in all fairness, I've added some weight to it in the form of accessories and things. I've also got bigger tires on it. So, probably part of that's mine. But I'm betting that without the stuff I have on it, I'd still only be getting somewhere maybe in the 16 and a half mile per gallon range. Really the only ding against the Gladiator that I have. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know. In your area, where you live, are you seeing more and more Jeep Gladiators on the road? Is their popularity increasing? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma, and Mod Driven, all about the Honda Civic 6-speed manual. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.